Welcome back to Coffee Talk with Heidi. We are on week 2 of the Sabbath experiment, and this week's theme is free from work. I am so excited that Sabbath means I can be free from work for a whole day. At its most basic form, Sabbath means that I don't work and I don't ask anyone else to work. So how this works in my home is I am not asking my kids to do anything on this day. I'm not asking them to clean their rooms or do their homework or help with yard work or anything that they might consider work. I give them a day off. Now we each have to pick up after ourselves, okay? We still have to not leave our shoes in the middle of the floor so they could be tripped over, and we have to put our own dishes in the dishwasher, but I'm not gonna ask them to put anybody else's dishes away. You get the idea? But it's interesting, on this day, on the Sabbath, God says, the animals don't work, the servants don't work, you don't even light a fire on the Sabbath. And really it goes back to this idea of, where is your heart? And is your heart really turning towards God? Or are you being lazy and just asking everybody else to do stuff so that you don't have to? That's not fair. That is a top-down society, and Sabbath is the great equalizer. Nobody works on Sabbath. But we have the question of, how do we interpret that in a modern context? The idea of not lighting a fire on the Sabbath, some take to mean I don't use electricity that day. Or maybe I have the electricity already running, but I don't turn it on Sabbath, or something like that. Don't light a fire. Well, we have a fireplace and we use it for heat, so maybe we build the fire and get it started and we keep it going? I don't know. So you get to decide, what does that mean for you? But then there's also the idea of animals not working. Kind of means don't drive. So some people don't drive on the Sabbath. It means no servants are working. So what about shopping? And what about going to restaurants? Because then you're making somebody else work if they've got the store open and the restaurant open. And so there's all these questions, and some would say, well, the restaurant's open anyway, so I might as well go eat there. Or the store is open anyway, so I might as well go shopping, because that's not work for me. But the idea is you are making work for someone else. And so when God put this up for the whole country, he said, I wanted it to be a day that everybody gets to rest. Even the foreigners who are traveling among you should not be selling on that day. And so we might say, oh, well, these people don't keep Sabbath, so what's the big deal? But that kind of goes along with the idea of the foreigners, those who are not part of the family of God, or those who are not trying to experience Sabbath. Well, if we can set aside that day as a day we don't ask them to work, then they get a break. Now, our culture obviously is far, far away from everybody observing the Sabbath. But I think the thing to think about here is, how can I honor God and his idea for this day? And how can I do my part to allow others to rest, even those who are unfamiliar with the idea of Sabbath? And so that is my question for you. How can I honor the idea of God and turning towards him, not working and not asking anybody else to work on my behalf on this day, to allow others to rest, even if they aren't on board with the idea of Sabbath? How can I be someone who helps put God's way of life out there as a possibility? Think about it and let me know your thoughts and your questions, and I look forward to continuing this discussion with you later. Have a great weekend.